We're just outside the small town of Pittsboro, North Carolina, home of a unique company that recycles and repurposes longleaf southern pine into beautiful wood flooring. Larry Green is the owner. His passion is to reclaim and reuse this noble old wood and save a few new trees in the process. When Larry began his company, his problem was how to give new life to longleaf southern pine, a type of wood that he loved that's now nearly extinct. His answer was to carefully salvage old boards and timbers from local buildings, built circa 1900 before the forests were decimated, and repurpose that wood into beautiful flooring.
Well, I originally started this business because I fell in love with the heart pine. It's just a beautiful wood. It has a real rich golden color. And then later I began to appreciate the fact that every piece of flooring I made was a tree that didn't have to be cut down.
In America's colonial days, longleaf pine was the dominant wood in the South. It was used to build everything from factories to homes until about 1900.
It takes 400 years for a longleaf heart pine tree to grow, and nobody replanted them. So the only way to get longleaf heart pine is to salvage old buildings, and that's what we do.
One of those buildings was the Altamaha Textile Mill, built in 1860. Larry's crew painstakingly salvaged the lumber one board at a time, put it on a truck, and shipped it to the factory.
This is the way the lumber looks when we receive it from the old buildings. Got paint, nails, and so forth on it. This is what's inside of all these beams. All we have to do is saw them open. It just looks like it's brand new.
The first step in the process is also the hardest. It's called denailing. And it's not easy. Each and every nail, bolt, or piece of metal has to be removed.
We do it manually with a hammer, cat's paw, and a chisel. Some of the nails are very difficult. They've been in the wood for 150 years. It's very hard to pull out. It just takes a lot of time.
After all the metal has been removed, the beams are carried over to another staging area where a final inspection is done with a metal detector. Even with all the preliminary work, objects are still found under the many layers of paint and have to be dug out one by one. What happens to all that metal?
We collect all the metal that we take out, all the nails, all the bolts, and we recycle them with a metal company. We try not to have anything going in landfill that we can help.
The next step is to place the denailed beams onto a conveyor belt, be cut down into 1-inch thick boards.
The wood is very hard to saw, but it's also very exciting because this is the first time we get to see the inside of the beams.
After the boards are cut, they're placed into a drying kiln for 2 days at about 150 degrees. This process will be used for new wood as well, but this isn't new wood.
The wood has already been air dried for 150 years, so it's dry all the way through the center. But the dry kiln just makes sure every board is uniform, moisture content, and it also kills any possible infestation.
The next step in turning these old beams into beautiful flooring is milling. Here, the 1-inch thick pieces are transformed into finished tongue and groove floorboards.
This machine has 6 different heads. 4 of the heads smooth the boards on the top and bottom. 2 of the heads put the tongue and groove on the edges. So the wood goes in this machine. It's a rough plank. It comes out a finished piece of flooring.
And all the wood chips and sawdust? You guessed it, it's all recycled too.
We don't waste any wood. All the sawdust is eventually turned into compost.
The finished flooring is then stacked onto pallets, wrapped, and shipped to its new home.
This is the final product of all this work. We've taken these old beat-up timbers, and this is what the wood looks like. Such a beautiful product out of such old-looking wood. But this is the story of heart pine.
Larry wanted to give longleaf southern pine, wood that he loves, a new lease on life. So he's salvaging timbers from old buildings and turning them into floors anyone would be proud to walk on.
When you look at the floor, you can feel the history and the time involved, and it's just an absolutely beautiful floor.
I love meeting all these people all over the country building and renovating green, and I'm proud to be part of it. We'll see you next time on Renovation Nation.